It rides on that pipe. It's all coming up fairly even. You can hear the clicking of the gears, and that helps it from going down. That's another good thing. Helps it from going down with the gears. The ratcheting must have some sort of dog in there. But if you just had a piece of pipe with a lever, there's no gearing, so you're just lifting that whole length of that plastic. Hey, welcome back to I Know Enough to Be Dangerous Farm. My name's Rob, and what we're going to do today is we're going to put roll-up sides on the new to us greenhouse. Previously, we tore this greenhouse down, didn't have any plaster or anything, it's just a frame and some other stuff. We tore this down, hauled it back to our farm, and we're slowly putting it back together. So what we have here is a greenhouse that when we got it did not have roll-up sides. I'm a fan of roll-up sides. It's great for ventilation through the bottom. Yeah, I know it's not even, but we'll take care of that. Anybody who knows anything about greenhouse, ventilation's key. So like I said, this didn't have roll-up sides. It went straight down to the bottom, and we need roll-up sides for growing for what we're growing. So what we did is we had some 2x6s for our Christmas tree stands, and I took those all apart and then we bolted them to the ribs, and it makes the ribs a lot more sturdy when you have something halfway up. This greenhouse was erected with 5-foot spacings, which I'm in a snow load area that we need 4-foot spacings. So we shrank the spacings between the ribs up, and then we put this along the top. So we tack the plastic there on that board, and then the roll-up side continues down, and then we secure it to the bottom in the wintertime. And we'll put string in between so it doesn't flap, but for now we just need to get the roll up, and everything is being repurposed except for this gear handle. I did splurge on that. I've tried with just a couple pieces of pipe and rolling it up, and this is geared so it's a lot easier on you. You lift up on this and turn the gear at the same time, but it's a lot better. You got to splurge for this. The rest of the stuff you can make yourself, and that's what we're going to do. So the first thing is we had some 1-inch galvanized pipe, and that just needs it runs the rail between this roller, so this goes up and down, and we'll put a chain between here and there like we did on this one. This top chain just helps to secure it. It's nice and secure when it's like that. But it's pretty windy today, so we need to get these sides done. As you can hear the plastic flopping. So we're going to repurpose another piece of this. This is 3/4 inch galvanized, and the whole rail, this only comes with a gearbox. You can buy this thing separate, but it's crazy money. It's like $50-$60 for just a piece of pipe, and it's not long enough. These sides, this is about 4 foot high. I wanted mine 4 foot high to be higher than the benches that the product is going to set on. So they don't make these that long, so you're going to have to come up with something anyway. So we had some leftover pipe laying around, so we put that in the ground, and this is just conduit, and I'll show you what that is. So as you can see the wind is really whipping, and it'll flop it right up while we're so it's going to be fun putting this in, but that's one of the reasons we got to do that today. But what we're using to join these are just pieces of conduit that came with the other. As you can see, the wind is getting crazy on us. Came with another greenhouse. So what we'll do is we'll put these together with these conduit, but we can't use these set screws. So we'll use self-tappers to self-tap right through the coupler into the conduit itself, because otherwise this needs to spin, and the other side I ran into a problem where these didn't bite enough, that the second conduit wasn't spinning. The first one was, so it was rolling up on the end, but nothing else was spinning after that. So we'll just run some self-tappers there, and how we connect this is we roll it like this, and then these pieces are like a buck, and they go like that. And you can leave them like that, but I like to, again, with a self-tapper, and it secures them. We get some high winds down through here, and I don't want anything going wrong. If you don't do it right this time, it's going to be a mess. Your plastic's going to tear, and you're going to have to buy new plastic or break out the tape. So that's what we're going to do. And on this end, that's how you secure that. And then we'll just put a hole. We'll drill a hole in the side and put a bolt through here, and that's how it's connected. So what I'll do here is I'll put this pipe. It goes about, I don't know, 6 inches to the end, but in line where what you want to roll up, because you don't want to like in here and it's going to bind, and on this way it's going to bind. And any further than 6 or 8 inches, it's just in the way. So get it to here so it's not too far away, but it's still manageable. It's not too far away, but it's not too close to hit that gearbox when you're raising and lowering it. So I'm going to take this rock bar and I'm going to start the hole, because if I just pound this right into the ground, I'm going to mess up the top by the time it gets down to the right level. So here we are using our couplers. They just slide on. Make sure they go the whole way. Plastic's gonna be fighting us the whole time. Normally you could just tighten these 2 set screws up if you're using it as conduit, electrical conduit. But in this case, you really need to get it a little bit more bite, so we'll do some self-tappers on either side. And I realize these couplers are not that strong, but once it's rolled up once, it's just rolling up the plastic. There's no tension on these. It's just friction of the plastic on top of itself. Do that the rest of the house. So you don't want it too tight. You don't want it too loose. Kind of gotta. You can always adjust this afterwards. That's kind of what we want. We want one right on the end. It snaps right on. You're not supposed to have to self-tap these, but you know, you got one shot of doing this without messing a lot of stuff up. You know, now it's nice and secure, and it'll just roll up either way you want to go. I like going this way, then it sheds the water off of it. If you roll like this way, it leaves this pocket for all the rainwater and algae and all that stuff to stay in there and feed on itself. So now that we have all the clamps on, you can see them here. Just get the level, the length of your plastic kind of consistent. As you can see, I rolled it up, then clamped it, but get it all consistent. And as far as spacing between one clamp and the other, that's about 3 feet. If you talk to a greenhouse guy selling the clamps, he's going to tell you every foot. That's why, I just remembered, that's why I have so many of those things. I bought it every foot of an 80-foot greenhouse, 2 sides. You don't need it, because like I said, after it's rolled up once, it's actually rolling up on itself on the plastic, not the couplers or those clamps. So let's give it a shot. Looks pretty good. So now we have to cut along here. Yes, I'm using my glove as a knee pad. So now we have to cut along here up to this piece where it's going to roll up, because I just wrapped this around and secured it because there was a windstorm coming, and I knew that it was going to be overnight. So now we'll just cut it nice right down through here, and then get that away from the thing, and then we'll give it a shot rolling it up. And in the winter time, we'll just put a piece right here to seal this up. Cut off any extra next to this gearbox. Try not to get any of that in your eyeball. you ever had pink eye. Pink eye's not just from your friend doing nasty stuff to your pillow. So I'll stay on this side, but normally I'd be on this side, and you lift up on this handle so you can get it cranking. Until you get up here, and then you can kind of see it's all coming up. It rides on that pipe. It's all coming up fairly even. You can hear the clicking of the gears, and that helps it from going down. That's another good thing. Helps it from going down with the gears. The ratcheting must have some sort of dog in there. But if you just had a piece of pipe with a lever, there's no gearing, so you're just lifting that whole length of that plastic. Go right up to the top. Oop. So eventually I'll have an eye hook here so I don't run off the end like I just did. I'll have an eye hook with a chain so it doesn't wiggle. It's not going to wiggle too much now, but with constant wind, you better put a chain here. Just from here to here, little piece of chain. That's it. And then we got a little bit of adjustment in that belly. We'll just lower it down, tighten those clamps up a little bit, and it'll be nice and even. So sorry for the mud on my face, but let me get out of the wind. So sorry for the mud on my face. I think we got it done just in time. The wind's really whipping here if you can't tell. But yeah, that's how you can put roll-up sides on your greenhouse. The greenhouse never had roll-up sides before. All we spent on that gearbox, I think it was like 65 bucks, but it's well worth it. It has those dogs that lock so it can't come down on itself, and I don't know what they're geared in there, but it's very easy to roll that up. I don't know what that whole thing weighs, but I bet you it's a couple 100 pounds, and a 3-year-old could roll that up. There's no weight on that whatsoever. Thanks for joining me, and like always, take care.